Hello and welcome back to Geezer Gamers. Today we are playing Backpack Hero. It is a completely free game and the link will be posted down below if you want to try it out. It is an inventory management roguelike game. Completely free, and supposedly there will be more content coming. I'm not sure when that will be or if that content will also be free, but definitely looking forward to it. I did play through the game one time, so I've already experienced the tutorial. Which is pretty simple and straightforward. I don't feel the need to show it because I can pretty much explain everything as we go. Also, forgive me for my raspy voice. I've been sick the past couple of days, which is why there haven't been any uploads. And I just got my voice back today, so we will see how this goes. So when the game starts, you always start with the same items. Whoops. And you can rotate them by right-clicking, or I believe you can press the arrow keys as well if you're into that. And the goal of the game will be to kill monsters and get better equipment and eventually beat the boss at the end of the run. There's different types of equipment. If you hover over it, you can see what they are. So we have here a sword, and you see in the upper right it costs us 1 energy to use, and it deals 7 damage to our target. So it's a lot like something like, say, the Spire. In terms of energy costs and types of effects, you'll see a lot of similarities there. However, instead of cards, we have whatever we can cram into our backpack. And you level up as you go. As you can see, we need 5 experience to level. And when you level up, you get to increase the size of your backpack and carry more stuff. And rare items naturally are usually stronger. Oftentimes that can be something as simple as them being smaller. But let's just get on into it. So you get a map. I assume they're procedurally generated. They seem a little bit different each time. For the most part, they're not too complicated, though. And so fights go like this. We have 3 energy, and we just want to conserve HP, kill things, all the standard stuff. So he's coming in for 7, so we'll just block once there and attack twice there. And we could, if we wanted to, consume our meal, which actually, there's nothing to incentivize hoarding items, especially these bigger ones, the consumables, simply because we're going to get more items after every fight, and you won't have space for everything. You'll never have space for everything, so we'll just do that. So, as you can see here, we get, and items can take up some insane sizing. I don't like the spiked club. It does damage you when you use it. I'm sure there could be some kind of build that cares about that, but for the moment, I'll pass. We got some mana here, which isn't useful yet, but there's a lot of magical items that have an activation cost that consumes mana, so it's generally good to just grab it when you see it, and we'll grab the coins. Don't need the buckler, because we already have one, and duplicates of activated items aren't particularly useful. That's consumable, but it takes up a good chunk of space that we don't have. And short arrows, you need a bow or a crossbow to use. I would like to try a bow build at some point. My last run had a couple interesting bows, but it takes up a lot of inventory space. So I don't know how good it actually is, but we're not going to take any of this stuff. We don't really have the room for it. So we'll do that and just move on to the next fight. And same thing here, we'll just block up and hit. Not too much clever to do in the early stages of the game. Another thing to note is that enemies, their damage tends to scale over time, so you can't just block over and over again and pass turns over and over again. Although these ones don't seem to be going up, so maybe these guys don't, I don't know. Alright, so here we leveled up. We get to choose 4 extra spaces in our backpack to unlock. So armor usually takes up about the size of the shield. It takes up a 2x2. And you generally want room for boots. And boots want to be as low in your bag as possible. And you generally want room for a helmet, which wants to be as high up as possible. And I guess from there we'll just unlock this one. That's fine. Alright, so here we've got a Dagger, can be used one time each turn. Deals 5 damage and adds 2 poison, which is really good. You can only use it once though, and it does take up 2 slots. But if we have other weapons, then that's not too bad. We do have a crossbow and some arrows. So we could try that. Oops. The problem is like it consumes these, and you're not guaranteed to find more. So it can become very useless very quickly. So I'm not sure about that. Double halberd hits everything as long as you have no other adjacent weapons to it in your backpack. So there's a lot of like organization and how you place things in your bag matter a lot in this game. It's only 3 damage to all enemies, but there are ways to buff that, but I think that weapon's a little too big. I think there are better ways to get similar effects. We will take the bandages, heals us for 5 HP after every combat, which is really good, especially in the early game, since we currently have no access to healing. I kind of do want to grab this shiv. I can only use it once a turn, unfortunately, but I feel like I want it. I can just do this to fit the sword. I'll just go ahead and bring the crossbow because we can sell it if we find a merchant. Another thing we'll encounter later in the game is an effect called curses. And some curses have negative effects, but the biggest impact of curses is that they force you to put an item in your backpack. And if your backpack is full like this, and it's going to happen in the middle of combat, you have to override an item. So it can actually, the biggest effect it can have is actually destroying items. So saving blank space or just having items you don't mind getting rid of is generally beneficial. That's a healer. How much gold did we have? We only have 4, so we'll wait on the healer. And there's also another one anyway. Healers charge money. They can either heal you, remove all your curses, or increase your maximum HP. And I do like increasing my max HP, but it costs like 10 gold, so. Yep, we'll just get in there with that, block up some damage. We'll take a little bit here, but it's fine. These guys are giving themselves armor, which I don't want to run in, you know, slam myself into their armor, so. Poison will do damage after the armor falls off, so it works out. He will die if I hit him 1 time, so we'll do that. We'll just go ahead and poison this guy again, even though the damage is wasted. It'd be wasted on the sword anyway. And we'll block up his damage. He should die to the poison. We'll get some experience. What we got here? Oh, and yeah, so this, sometimes items will show up in the middle of a fight. And they tell you to reorganize now to claim this item. Reorganize is one of your permanent special abilities. It costs 3 energy, which is Garbo. Very rarely, very, very rarely should you be reorganized in combat. Like, if a rare item or something comes by, you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, that's great. But it eats your whole turn, pretty much, unless you have like energy cheating. And then if for some reason you don't have a weapon, like if we didn't have this sword and we could only use the dagger once, you do have scratch. But it is 1 energy for 3 damage, which is a really bad rate when you compare it to literally any item, almost any item in the game. That being said, this shield is pretty good. So this buckler requires us 1 energy to activate, but this shield just gives us 8 armor every turn. So I think we will actually just make sure we get it. And it uses less space. So we'll just go with that. And yeah, there's no real way to do anything we want to do in order to get this, I don't think. I'd have to give up 2 things, which is not particularly worth it at the moment, so we will leave that be. It did use all of our energy for the turn, but luckily he's not attacking us, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, these guys, their damage goes up. Oh, just kidding. This one does have an activated ability. Huh. Most of the other shields I'd seen, they just do it every turn. So that was my mistake. It's still better than the 7 armor the other one was giving us, and it's smaller, so that's fine. I will use this twice because we're not going to get through his armor anyway. We just get the poison on him and use that. I can just kill him. Bandages heal us up. I definitely want to take the top spaces. We'll just go ahead and grab a couple of side spaces for now. Every now and then the shape of your backpack will be problematic. That's a strict upgrade to the sword. 7 damage, but also causes weak, and it's smaller, so we'll take that. We get us a helmet. So the way the helmets work is you get bonus armor for every space below it. So in this case, it gives us 2 armor for being at the top of our bag. This one happens to boost wands, which we don't have any, so that's irrelevant. So really, it just gives us 2 armor each turn. And then to stop you from just stacking infinite helmets, it makes it so that any helmet to the right of it gives less armor. We can take another bandage because those do stack. We can go and take the arrows because we have room for them. And I would like to grab the shiv. If you can get enough shivs, there's some pretty crazy like weapon buffing items that could buff multiple shivs that you can use for 0 energy or whatever each turn. I think it could get pretty nutty. So I'd like to see if we can maybe make something like that happen later. But for the moment, it's just 1 damage one time a turn, so not too crazy when you first find it. How much gold did I have? 7. The gold balance in this game, early on, you're basically starved for gold, and later on, you just have more gold than you know what to do with, because you're not really buying that much stuff later on. So it's not ideal, but it's, again, it's a free game, so I'm not complaining. Let's block that. We'll do that, that's free. And he's attacking, so let's bop. I think weak is just a strict -1 damage, yeah. So it's not percentage, nothing's percentage based in this. Weak and rage are opposites of each other and strictly increase damage by 1 or decrease damage by 1. Haste and slow are your armor buffing abilities. I would not mind picking this up either. Gives us 2 armor a turn. It's not like a great item, but like passive armor gain is really strong. Not really strong, it's really necessary. It's not necessary. You can do builds without armor. There's items that grant you bonuses if you don't have armor. But since we don't have any of those items, having armor is as good as like regen most of the time, so. Adjacent and diagonal helmets and footwears get bonus armor, adjacent weapons get bonus damage. I definitely want this. So we're gonna reorganize. This might be a little scuffed, let's see. I think we can get rid of the arrows and the crossbow. Let's throw mana down here, gold down here. So we put this here. I don't have any footwear, so it's not giving any bonus to footwear, but it is giving an extra 2 armor here, so this now adds 4 a turn. This adds 2 a turn, and this gets bonus damage. The shiv gets bonus damage, and the dagger gets bonus damage. And I guess I can still bring the crossbow to sell. Yeah, seems good enough. I could consider getting rid of like the bandages and taking the reorganize the arrows to take those, but I don't know. I'm gonna do that. That does eat the whole turn. We will take a little bit of damage here, but we've got the bandages. That's what they're there for. Alright, he's only coming in for 5, and now we passively generate 6 armor, so super strong. I do want to put the poison on him, because it's not going to be useful over here. He'll die to poison. Oh wait, actually he has 6 regen. I don't know which goes off first, if I'm being completely honest. Another dagger. Ooh, so we just get 2 daggers going? I don't really have the space, the ideal space for it. I mean, I could get rid of the shield, but then I'm relying only on my passive armor. And I already, I can't reorganize this turn because I didn't see it. And I don't have enough energy, so it doesn't matter. Whoopsie. I would too. I would totally replace the shield with that to give that a try. But that's okay. I don't know which goes off first, so this might be wasteful, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit him to make sure. Alright, he's coming in for 7. We'll block most of it. Bandages heals up for 10, so we can go down to 30 before it's a problem. And also, we'll make him weak by hitting him with the club, so our armor will be good enough anyway. I forgot about that. Oops, forgot the shiv. And he'll die to poison, so... Alright. So we full heal. Frothy Drink is pretty good early on. Well, it's good anytime. It adds energy, but it's a one-use item. And it does heal you. So I think I'll take that over the crossbow for sure. It's good in a pinch. Cavefish is great. Rose of Thorns is okay. 1 spike. That does stack. Every turn you get 1 spike and it just keeps growing. And then Wizard's Robes are a really good pickup in general. They just let you start stacking mana, especially in the early game when you're not using mana, because you can stockpile mana for later. So I would like to fit this. If I can take this out for sure. The Shiv is currently doing like actually nothing. It's just a hedge for later if I want it or not. And the hat's giving me 4 armor currently, which is pretty good. I mean, I could get rid of bandages. Actually, if I get rid of the hat, because this gives me 2 armor, so I'm really not losing that much. I mean, I am losing armor, don't get me wrong. But I'm not losing quite as much as it seemed like. We can do this, or I could even take this over the Shiv, but I'd still like to keep the Shiv and hedge on possibly setting up a Shiv build. So maybe we do this. And we'll level up soon. And be able to pick up more slots. But good enough for now. If you're the type of person that hates throwing away items, this is not the game for you, because that is a pretty consistent theme. We'll hit the merchant at the end, just in case. Alright, so we only get 4 armor. So I definitely want to come in here and smack him with this. I'm actually going to hit him with the poison before he armors up. I don't need that buckler. Should be able to... I won't be able to take him out quite. But he'll die in the following turn, so that's fine. Now we can come back over here and kind of hit him with everything. He does have armor now, which I think I can get through. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, now we want to get some more spaces. We only get 3 this time. I'm just going to go ahead and just add some more space in the middle here. Keys are handy sometimes. 4 slow and 4 weak to all enemies is okay. I mean, I'll take it because I have the slot. Actually, just kidding. I'm going to take the Cleaver. That's another build. There's some crazy Cleaver buffs that you can get later on. That'd be pretty interesting. So maybe we can do something with that. Yeah. Right now it's not particularly useful, but later on if you have something like, right, this buffs all adjacent weapons with enough cleavers, you can surround it and some of the cleavers are free too. You could arguably get more damage than you would out of a club, for example. Just different possibilities. So I'm just going to take those and kind of hedge to see what we might get. And we'll hit the event up here. A group of archers are here. They know that it can be hard to get started when you trade a weapon for a bow. I mean, I'll do it. Because if it's a good enough bow, maybe we can go with a bow build. So, man, I really like the club. Bows take up like 3 slots though, so I'd have to get rid of the club or the dagger. Maybe I just ditch the dagger. The poison's okay, but I mean, making them weak is probably better than poisoning them half the time anyway, so. They take your weapon and break it down into parts and give you equipment in return. What'd they give me? Oh, they did just give me a super basic bow. That's really lame. I mean, I didn't know they'd give me this much stuff either. Alright. So, bow buffs any arrows next to it for 4 extra damage, which is nice, but they still only give you 5 arrows. They do give you a quiver. Quiver is really important for the bow build. It does cost energy, but it refills stacks of arrows. So maybe we try it. You know what? I haven't tried it yet, so let's see what we can do here. I definitely want to find a way to put that back in. We're going to get rid of this. We're done with the shiv and dagger crap, I think. Need arrows there. Need that there. You don't need a ton of keys, usually. And I still want to have a weapon other than the bow. Well, I guess, I don't know, I guess with the quiver I don't need a weapon other than the bow. I'd rather have survivability. I'll just throw this, or actually I can just throw this in. Cost energy does 3 damage. I'll probably use it once every 3 turns anyway, so I'll just take the shiv. This gives adjacent weapons, so let's move this here. So that buffs the damage on this, buffs the damage on this. I don't have any helmet or footwear on right now, so the positioning otherwise doesn't really matter, so we'll go with that. This took 2 spots. I could say screw the key. Oh, that has to go there though. I could say screw the key and just put the club in here and still bring the club. I think I will do that for the moment. Let's go hit the merchant. And he'll just spit out a bunch of stuff. This is also why you don't want to spend too much time over analyzing any one thing. What is that? I've never seen that. Diamond. Adjacent and diagonal weapons get +1 damage. Yeah, so that would be really good with like the shivs, for example. Broken ring is really good. Empty cup is not. This helmet is pretty decent. It is legendary, so we'll probably just take it because it'll be a while before we find legendaries. But it gives you haste every turn, and haste boosts the amount of armor you get from armor granting things. It does cost 35, so just kidding. We are not going to get it because I can't afford it. I don't think, even if I sold, let's see, mana doesn't sell. That sells for 1, that sells for 1. So 3, I could get 5 for that, that'd be another 8. Is that 1 for the whole stack, I imagine? Yeah, there's absolutely no way, right? If I sold everything, it'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, which would put me at 26, so I can't even afford that. That sucks. I mean, it sucks that they show it to me. Broken Ring is really good. It's a way to use our mana. It gives us 4 armor every turn. If we had the haste, it would be insane, because this goes from 4 armor to, it scales off of haste. Maybe I take it over a bandage. I think it's good enough to warrant that. Emerald Bracelet's also really good. Like, insanely good. The question is, where do I put it? I could trade all my gold for it. I lose a gold. And that's the other thing, is archery just, it takes up so many slots to do anything. But I still would really like to see what can come of it. Maybe I ditch the bronze breastplate. I just stick with the wizard robes for now. Oh, I can't afford those. Oh, they cost 6. Yikes. Oh, that's my gold, though. Yeah, it costs 20. That's crazy. I've never seen a first shop have this many, like, rare items in it that you can't actually buy, so... give me my toilet paper back. Emerald Bracelet, the reason it's good is it lets you eat curses. Positioning matters, but it lets you eat curses, and it gives you energy when you do, so it's super helpful. Alright, I guess that's good enough. I don't see any way to afford that, so... And then we don't have enough gold to even bother going to the healer, so I'm not going to bother. We'll move on to the next floor. See where are we at on time. Oh, we can go. We can do another floor. Alright, rat wolves. Alright, so we're only getting 2 armor passively now, which is way worse. And I don't have an armor item, which is way worse. I really didn't think this through. Especially because this does do more damage, so maybe it's worth it. He's coming in for 8. I'll just go ahead and use my mana to not take damage. I think I'll just take him off the board, right? Just take him off the board, weaken him up. I do have the bandages, so I can take a hit. He plans to armor up this turn. I do 11 damage with that. I mean, I may as well just use this, honestly. I need more energy so I can start pumping up arrows. Or find a way to do that. I'm just going to increase that. I'm going to use my turns while I have them to... Yeah, he's super weak now, and I get some armor return. He's showing me doing like 1 damage, so I'm actually gonna take some time to just refill my quiver, refill my arrows. So get some more arrows, get some more mana. While he can't hurt me, is the time to do it. So it'll be pretty useful for later. It is more time consuming, so maybe not ideal for this particular video, but if it gets obnoxious, I'll just cut it out later. Get a little armor, just to not take damage. I can afford a little bit of damage, but... Alright, and now we'll just do 1, 2, and go ahead and kill him. So it's not too crazy long. We get a bunch of arrows out of the deal. Oops. What we got here? Explosive arrows deal 5 damage to all enemies. Awesome. And multiplies all modifiers by... Oh, by 0.5. Okay. So damage modifiers get halved, it looks like. We do have a helmet here, which gives us 2 armor each turn. Boosts the armor of adjacent clothing. Water flask is good if we can fit it, but not necessary. I need... What do I need? We're going to get rid of the club. Now that we got our arrow system going a little bit, we're going to get rid of the club. One thing I do want to do, if I can manage to make this work, something like that. It hits 2 arrows and the quiver hits both types of arrows. Because this boosts arrows in the row. So I can put that there and it still affects it. So it doesn't have to be adjacent. So we can plan accordingly. We can put this helmet up here because it wants to be as high up as possible. It wants adjacent clothing because it boosts adjacent clothing. So we can put that there. I don't need the club. I don't know why I was grabbing again. We can throw the bandages in here. I don't really have the room for this, so... but one thing I do want to do is kind of move this around. The reason being, if we pick up a small curse, we want to make sure we have an adjacent spot for it, because you can't move them around without using the whole reorganize for 3 energy ability. That looks pretty good. So we'll go forward with that. And there's also like flower. Flower hastes you up, gives you weak. There's some builds that's really good for, and some that it's really not good for. And it's consumable. That takes up a lot of space, so we'll pass on it. I don't have the ability to cause weak anymore, which is definitely something worth noting. We'll just go ahead and come in with some damages here. And now that he has armor, the AoE is not worth it anymore, so we'll just do these. And we'll armor up again, because we do get the 1 mana every turn, so we can get away with that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and restock my arrows. I know he's armoring up, which will make me do less damage next turn, but that's okay. Because now I can just block all his damage, get another refill. Just gonna kind of have to do this every time. We can get short arrows. Short arrows deal 5 damage. Regular arrows deal 7 damage. I can't reorganize though, because I used all my abilities like a dingus. Short arrows are nice because you can squeeze them into an extra slot that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. Alright, now we're going down. It does take more uses than I would like. I need some damage boosts. What we got here? Regular bow. I would like to pick up an elven bow at a minimum, and ideally a better bow than that. The elven bow is basically basically the same thing, except it heals you every time you use it. Oh, we get a key, which is nice, because I did see a locked door. And we can't really afford that space-wise, so. Where was it? These things here are locked doors, which you can use keys to get through. And behind them is usually a chest or something like that. Cleaver, no. Spike thingy, no. Cleansing Bomb is really good later on in the game. When, so it removes all status effects from enemies, on all enemies. So it will get rid of, like, poison and stuff. So it's not great if you're running, like, a poison build. But if your opponents all have, like, 40 regen or, like, a ton of thorns or something like that, it'll get rid of all that, which is pretty useful. And this gives 5 regen, it's consumables, and worst case scenario, I override it with a curse, so we'll just grab it. Another healer, which I'm not worried about right now. It's like slimes all add regen to themselves, and if I was worried about my damage, I would, what's it called? I could have brought the Cleansing Bomb. I am going to go ahead and use the K-Fish for the regen, just heal up 5 every turn so I don't have to worry about my health as much. Again, don't be scared to just use your consumables. Sorry, I had a bit of coughing fit there. Yeah, don't be afraid to use your consumables because you'll never have space for all of them anyway. I guess we'll just shoot out some damage. We'll still regen all that from the bandages, which is why I like the bandages so much early on. I only need to shoot 2, so I'll just go ahead and do this, so I don't completely waste. Oh, I only need to shoot 1, just kidding. I forgot it added damage. Alright, we level up, we get some more space. I'm just gonna grab 3 spaces here, it's fine. Right now we're not hurting too much for specific organization. Anglerfish, I don't know what Great Luck does. I assume it's your chance to find rare items and stuff. Luck and Great Luck. I've never seen them like displayed anywhere. I really don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it and eat it on the next fight. Same with this poison potion. We don't mind just grabbing it to use it. And that should be good. If we don't buy anything from this merchant, we can wind up increasing our max HP off of the, Ooh, 5 rage to self, that's really good. Why is this red? Oh, it's because it was defaulting to already being selected. That's pretty cool. That would be good, but I'm not going to spend 3 energy to get to it. It does add basically 5 damage to all of your attacks, though. Or 2.5 in the case of the explosive arrow. Actually, maybe I do. You know what? Let's use this for the regen. Let's just go ahead and grab it. And I can use it next turn if I take any damage, which I don't think I'm going to. But, I will go and use the poison potion. Oh yeah, I regen to more than enough, but that's okay. I'm still going to do this for the rage boost, which you'll see adds 5 damage when attacking with a weapon, which of course the bow is a weapon. And this now does 9 damage to all. I don't want to hit everything because their armor just absorbs it anyway, so we'll just take this guy out, get his damage off the field, let their stuff fall off, and I'll just go and use this because I get the mana every turn anyway. The regen will be more than enough. Go do that, and I will refill. They're gonna armor up. I'll probably just restock this turn, just to make sure I'm not hurting. Go and armor up here, that should be plenty. Oh, they were poisoned. So they died to poison anyway. Oh well, I wasted the armor. I didn't even think about it. What do we got here? Damaged knife. Oh, that's cool. So it's just like a consumable knife. Gives you 3 uses and then it's gone. Poison arrow. I would like to open up another slot up here now at some point, because I would like to add the arrow so that it's touching this quiver. I'm sure there's a better way to do that. It's only adjacent arrows, so that adjacent does not count diagonal. Take the regen. Take the shield. Rare item trader. Excuse me. A strange rat in a long coat eyes you. Will you give me 10 gold for a rare item? Absolutely. What do we got here? Can be used 2 times. Each combat deals 25 damage. That's insane. I mean, that's completely bonkers. I mean, it does fall off later. Don't get me wrong. There are things that do more than 25 damage later on, but this early in the game, that's insane. It is 2 to activate, and you can only use it twice each combat. Alright, so let's see how I want to do this, because I will absolutely take that if I can. I guess I don't really need the poison arrows. I would like to get them. I definitely don't need that consumable or that consumable. This wants adjacent clothing. Oops, but I could do like that. Throw this in here. I guess I can let a bandage go now. So I'm very weak to curses right now. It's worth noting. I don't know why that keeps like every time I pick this up that like dances around. It's very odd. We'll level somewhat soon. Yeah, good enough. The bandages have done their work. Yeah, this, of course, I immediately walk into a fight with a guy that drops curses. Curse of Slime. So Curse of Slime is a 1/1 curse, but it is going to override something and make me lose it. So is there any way I can kill this guy this turn? Oh, I can use the sword, right? Yeah, I don't want to get hit with those curses. So we'll do one of these. Yeah. I just don't have the inventory space for it right now. And this setup isn't ideal either, because right now my poison arrows don't get buffed by my quiver. So we're just going to push through this fight. Normally I would take some time against weaker enemies and stock up this quiver, I think, but I'm sure. So I can think of a couple uses for this. There are objects or like items that buff adjacent consumables, but it doesn't look like the herb does anything on its own, so and none of those are particularly good. What was this one? Oh yeah, there's the cleaver buffer. Adjacent and diagonal cleavers get bonus damage. So you get enough of those, you can do some pretty gnarly things with cleavers. But we're way past that. Let's check out the merchant. What are you? Legendary. Deals 9 damage. When this kills an enemy, deal 8 damage to all enemies. That's cute. I don't think it's very good, based on what I've seen of the game. It's not a lot of damage. I wonder if you buff the damage of it, if it buffs the AoE portion too. Because yeah, that's not particularly good. It only uses one to activate, which is nice, but it takes up, I mean, it takes up 3 slots, right? Or no, 4 slots. It takes up 4 slots. Yeah, it's really not good. Again, I'm sure there's a way to build around it that would be solid. Yeah, we don't want any of this. What are these guys? Dart. Oh, it's just a... That's weird. It doesn't fire from a bow or crossbow. It's just a consumable that deals damage to all enemies. What are you? Mace. Adds slow and weak. That's... Oh, but it costs 2 to use. If it wasn't 2 to use, I would say that's bonkers. Man, he put so many random potions in here. Alright. What are you? Still just a standard bow. Unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think I want any of this. I don't want to sell anything. Not particularly at the moment. Alright. And I didn't have 10, right? Yeah, I only have 9. I guess I could sell something for 1. And increase my max HP by, I think it's by 5. But what do I even sell? I don't really want to get rid of any of this. I can get rid of the helmet. But it helps me stay alive. So I don't know. I could just sell the bandage. You know what? We're doing it. I'm sure I'll regret it, but... The healer taps a staff against your nose. The boop makes you stronger. Boop. There's some fights. Like, I don't have any real source of, like, in-combat regen. And there's fights where they poison you, and no amount of armor will protect you, so... Not that regen is great against it either. Because regen, at least for the player, regen goes off first, and then poison goes off. Oh, we're on our first boss, the Ferret King. If I remember correctly, he does some damage, he summons some enemies, and then if I use a shield... When a shield is used, this enemy adds 1 rage to the player? Huh. I don't have a shield, so... Let's get some poison on him, because poison's pretty strong. And then let's just boop him with that. I mean, this guy's gonna be a cakewalk with our Lizard King sword. Yeah, he's gonna summon some crap. I don't have any bonus energy stuff, unfortunately. But... Ooh, Spiked Helmet. I really like Spiked Helmet. But I don't want to take 25 or 20 damage, I guess, in order to get it. And it's common, so we should be able to find more anyway. Is this out of uses? Yeah, it's out of uses. Alright. We'll just put the poison on him. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it didn't matter. Poison's, like, it's okay. It's utility, it's useful in certain situations, and a lot of times it's not that great. I'd like to build up more, but so we'll just do this. Let's just take these, fill out that side. I mean, that's basically free. May as well take it. Don't care about that much. We'll take the gold. This has to get moved up, which means this has to get moved up. What? Why does this thing keep dancing? I don't know why it keeps doing that. Um, I can't move this down. Put that there. So I want something like this. Actually, it doesn't even have to be like that. I can put it like this, right? Throw that in there. May as well grab the potions. Yeah, that hits all those, that hits all those, that hits that. Seems good. Let's go. Another emerald bracelet I don't need. There's some more armor. I just don't really have the space for it. Ooh, we got a diamond. Adjacent and diagonal weapons get bonus damage. I think it's better on the bow than the sword, probably. I mean, I don't think it's particularly good for a bow build. It's better for things like shivs and cleavers, I'd say. But I have the space, so I ain't hating. Alright, I think I'll go ahead and cut the video there at the end of the first floor. That way it doesn't run too long. There are 3 floors to get through, so this will be at least a 3-part series. If you want to see the rest of it, go ahead and leave a thumbs up, comment down below. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and we'll catch you in the next one.